He handed 4 women unlimited black cards. No limits, no questions. 3 laughed, 1 froze. But the moment he saw what the maid did with hers, his entire world stopped. And from that second, nothing, not love, loyalty, or reputation, would ever be the same. Before the drama hits, type your location below, and when it's done, drop your score from 0 to 10. Ready? Let's jump in. Brian Stevens threw his phone across the marble counter. It skidded, spun, and stopped just before the edge. Another one, he muttered, staring at the selfie that had just gone viral. Him at last night's charity gala, and beside him, a blonde influencer angling her face toward his while whispering, "Tag me, babe." He hadn't even known her name. "Rough morning, boss?" James, his advisor, entered holding coffee and wearing that "I told you so" smirk. "I'm done being a walking bank account." "You say that every month." "This time I mean it." Brian's jaw tightened. Victoria's betrayal still burned. His ex-fiancée had loved his empire, not him. She'd smiled for cameras, whispered merger deals to his rivals, and cried publicly when he ended it. Now she texted daily, pretending remorse. Suddenly, Brian straightened. "I want to test them." James blinked. "Test who?" "Human nature." Brian's voice turned cold. 4 women. 4 unlimited black cards. 3 days. Let's see who they really are. Within hours, the cards arrived. Victoria accepted hers with a dazzling smile. "You always were generous, darling." Elena, his assistant, kissed the card. "You won't regret this." Cassandra, the influencer, squealed and started filming immediately. But Amanda Rogers, the quiet maid who moved like a ghost through his mansion, stared at the card as though it might bite. "Are you sure?" she whispered. "Yes." She nodded once, slipped it into her apron pocket, and returned to folding laundry. That night, transactions lit up his phone. Victoria, $47,000. Hermes, private jet deposit. Elena, $23,000. Luxury spa, Louboutins. Cassandra, $31,000. Designer hall, VIP club table. Then, Amanda, $340. Baby formula, blankets, rice, socks, children's books. Brian stared. The next morning, he watched from his car as Amanda loaded bags into a borrowed van, heading toward the poorest part of town. "Where is she going?" he whispered. Brian pulled his baseball cap lower and followed the van in his black SUV, staying 3 cars behind. He felt ridiculous. Billionaires didn't tail their housekeepers through Brooklyn, but curiosity gnawed at him like hunger. The van stopped outside a weathered building, Haven House Women and Children's Shelter. Amanda stepped out, arms loaded with grocery bags. Before she reached the door, children exploded from inside, tiny hands grabbing at her skirt, voices shouting, "Miss Amanda! Miss Amanda!" She laughed, crouching to their level. "Did you miss me or the cookies?" "Both!" a little boy yelled. Brian watched from across the street, throat tight. Inside, through the window, he saw her hug exhausted mothers, unpack diapers and formula, kneel beside a teenage girl crying into her hands. Amanda's voice was too soft to hear, but the girl nodded, wiped her eyes, and hugged her. Then, Amanda grabbed a mop. Brian blinked. She had millions at her fingertips, and she was cleaning floors. Meanwhile, across the city, Victoria twirled before a boutique mirror in a $15,000 gown, telling the consultant, "He'll come crawling back when he sees me in this." Elena sat in a steakhouse with a hedge fund CEO, laughing too brightly, adjusting her new Cartier bracelet. "Investment opportunities," she purred. Cassandra filmed herself in a marble bathtub, rose petals floating. "Living my billionaire era. Link in bio for my course on manifesting wealth." Back at the shelter, Amanda approached the director's desk and quietly slid an envelope across. for the overdue electric bill. The director's eyes filled with tears. Amanda, how? Don't ask, just keep the lights on. Brian's chest ached. Later, Amanda wiped a toddler's nose, laughing as paint smudged her cheek, her messy bun half falling. And for the first time in years, Brian's heartbeat stuttered. Not with suspicion, with something terrifyingly close to hope. The next morning, Brian made a call. Transfer $50,000 to Haven House, anonymously. By noon, the shelter director was weeping on the local news. A mysterious benefactor saved us. Whoever you are, thank you. Amanda watched the broadcast in the shelter's cramped kitchen, tears streaming. Angel donors do exist, she whispered. Brian watched from his office, chest warm. That afternoon, he returned to observe, addicted now to this secret window into goodness. Amanda sat cross-legged with children, playing a game she invented. Kindness tag. Whoever said the nicest thing got to chase the others. You have a pretty smile. You share your crayons. You give the best hugs. Laughter echoed like church bells. During snack time, Amanda carried a tray of juice boxes, too many, and stumbled. Bright red liquid splashed across Senator Howard's crisp white shirt. The room froze. Amanda's face went crimson. I'm so... The senator burst out laughing. Best thing to happen at a charity event in years. Others joined, the tension breaking like glass into giggles. Amanda laughed too, genuine, unfiltered, beautiful. Brian stared, stunned. She didn't perform. She just was. Back at the mansion that evening, Elena and Victoria whispered over wine. Why is he watching the maid? Victoria hissed. She's up to something, Elena muttered darkly. Upstairs, Cassandra posted a photo with a yacht broker. Networking with NYC elite. Dreams become reality. Had billionaire era hat blessed. Brian scrolled past it without a glance. Instead, he caught himself smiling, remembering Amanda's paint-smudged cheek. James entered, smirking. You're interested in the maid? Don't be ridiculous. Your face says otherwise. My face says nothing. Your face says you're gone, boss. Brian scowled, but his traitorous heart knew the truth. Later, from the hallway, he watched Amanda hum softly while folding towels, completely unaware of his gaze. And for the first time in years, Brian felt something he'd forgotten existed. Peace. The charity brunch invitation arrived on embossed cream cardstock. Haven House honors its champions. Brian wasn't listed. He came anyway, wearing sunglasses and sitting in the back. When Amanda's name was called, she froze. Women in designer dresses nudged her forward. She approached the podium in a simple floral dress, hands trembling. I don't really do speeches, she began, voice shaking. But I know what it's like to sleep in a shelter, to wonder if tomorrow comes with a meal or just fear. The room went silent. Someone helped me once. I'm just passing it forward. Her eyes glistened. Thank you for seeing the invisible. Applause erupted. Brian's throat burned. A photographer caught him staring, his sunglasses slipping, expression unguarded. By evening, gossip sites buzzed. Billionaire Brian Stevens spotted at charity event. Who's the mystery brunette? Outside, Brian found Amanda leaning against a stone column, catching her breath. You were incredible, he said softly. She jumped. Mr. Stevens, I didn't know you'd be... Call me Brian. Silence stretched between them, thick with something unspoken. I grew up in foster care, Amanda said suddenly, staring at the garden. 12 different homes, some kind, most not. Her voice steadied. My mom died when I was 12. I worked 3 jobs by 16. She finally looked at him. Money doesn't scare me. Losing my humanity does. Brian's chest cracked open. Their hands rested on the railing, inches apart. His pinky shifted. Hers moved closer, almost touching. Heart pounding, breath held. A waiter passed. The spell broke. Amanda blushed, stepping back. I should go. Thank you for listening. She disappeared into the crowd. Brian stood frozen, pulse racing, whispering to the empty air. What are you doing to me? Victoria slammed her phone onto the marble counter, the gossip article still glowing. Stevens captivated by mystery woman. That little maid, she hissed. Across town, Elena stared at the same photo, jaw clenched. Years of carefully positioning herself, ruined by someone who scrubbed toilets. Cassandra saw opportunity. This could go viral. Rich versus poor drama? My followers would eat this up. By midnight, they met in Victoria's penthouse, champagne untouched, eyes sharp. She doesn't belong in his world, Victoria declared. Then we remind her, Elena said coldly. And I'll document the fallout, Cassandra added, already envisioning the cliques. The alliance was born. Meanwhile, Amanda restocked shelter pantries, humming softly, oblivious to the storm brewing. Brian appeared at the shelter's door, catching her by surprise. Let me drive you home. That's kind, but I walk. It clears my head. She smiled warmly. Helps me think. Think about what? Grateful things. She tilted her head. You should try it sometime. Later, they sat on the floor with children, cutting apple slices. A little girl handed Brian a piece, sticky fingers trusting. He took it, throat tight. Amanda laughed. See? You're a natural. I'm really not. You're here. That counts. That evening, Brian anonymously ordered 200 children's books delivered to Haven House. He told no one, not even James. He didn't want credit. He just wanted to see her smile again. But in Victoria's penthouse, 3 women clinked glasses over dark screens and darker plans. Victoria's lips curved into something cruel. She doesn't belong in his world, she whispered, eyes glittering with malice. And we'll remind her. The news broke at dawn. Shelter funds missing. Maid accused of embezzling donations. Investigation underway. Amanda's phone exploded with calls. Reporters camped outside the mansion gates. Camera flashes stromed like lightning. She stood in the kitchen, hands shaking, staring at fabricated bank statements Elena had planted, showing transfers to an account with Amanda's name. I would never... Her voice cracked. The shelter director called, sobbing. Amanda, they're saying you stole from us. From the children. Mrs. Chen, please, I didn't... The documents have your signature. Amanda's world tilted. Brian arrived home to chaos, security blocking reporters, staff whispering, Victoria and Elena standing near the foyer wearing perfect masks of concern. Such a shame, Victoria murmured. We trusted her. Elena nodded solemnly. I always thought she seemed off. Brian pushed past them, found Amanda in the hallway, eyes red, chin trembling but lifted. Tell me it's not true, he said. It's not. He wanted to believe her. God, he wanted to. But the evidence... He hesitated. Just 1 second. 1 breath too long. Amanda saw it. That flicker of doubt. That question mark in his eyes. Her face shattered. I see. Her voice was barely a whisper. She removed her apron, folded it carefully, set it on the marble counter. I thought maybe you saw me. The real me. Tears spilled. But you see what everyone else sees. A poor girl, disposable, probably guilty. Amanda, wait. If you doubt me, her voice cracked like breaking glass, then you never knew me at all. She walked toward the door. Amanda! But she didn't turn back. She left his mansion and his life forever. Amanda packed her belongings into a single duffel bag. 6 years in that mansion, and everything she owned fit in one worn canvas sack. She returned to Haven House, not as a benefactor, but as what she'd always been, a survivor. I need work, she told Mrs. Chen quietly. Cleaning, cooking, anything. Mrs. Chen pulled her into a hug. You always have a home here? That night, Amanda cried in the storage room between mop buckets and donated coats, hands pressed to her mouth to muffle the sound. But by morning, she forced steel into her spine. She would survive this. She always had. Meanwhile, Brian's penthouse became a tomb. He didn't sleep, didn't eat, just stared at the city lights, guilt devouring him from the inside. James found him at 3 a.m., still in yesterday's clothes. You look like hell. I failed her. Yes. James's voice turned sharp. You failed the only real person in your life. The only one who saw you, not your bank account. He leaned close. So what are you going to do about it? Brian's jaw set. Everything. By dawn, he was unrecognizable. Hoodie, baseball cap, fake glasses. He started where the scandal started, following the money trail. He bribed IT techs, demanded security footage, traced digital signatures. At a coffee shop, he fumbled with a regular drip coffee. Wait, I have to pour it myself? The barista stared. It's self-serve. Right, obviously. At a laundromat, he nearly broke a machine. These coins don't fit. Sir, that's a Canadian quarter. James, watching from the car, bit back laughter. But Brian's determination never wavered. 3 sleepless days later, he found it. Timestamps showing Elena accessing Amanda's employee files. Bank records proving Victoria created the false account. Text messages between all 3 women. Cold, calculated, cruel. She'll be destroyed by Friday. Brian will never look at her again. Perfect. Brian's hands shook with rage. He burst into James's office and slammed documents across the desk, eyes blazing. I found them. The Manhattan Elite Charity Gala glittered with champagne and diamonds. Victoria wore crimson silk, Elena draped in emerald satin. They laughed with senators and CEOs, confidence radiating like armor. Cassandra live-streamed from the red carpet. At the event of the season, elite energy only. None of them noticed Brian arrive, dressed in a sharp black suit, jaw set, eyes cold as winter. He walked straight to the event coordinator. I need the main screen, now. Mr. Stevens, the program is all ready, now. The lights dimmed for announcements, but instead of the planned donor video, the massive screen flickered to life with bank records, text messages, timestamps. Elena's voice recording, plant the invoices in her file, make it look authentic. Victoria's text. Brian will never look at her again once we're done. Cassandra's message. This is going to get so many views. Poor girl drama, Esel's engagement gold. The ballroom went silent. Gasps rippled through the crowd like shockwaves. Victoria's champagne glass slipped from her fingers, shattering against marble. Elena's face drained of color. Cassandra's phone, still live streaming, captured her own horror in real time. Comments exploded. Disgusting! They framed her? Elite trash exposed. Brian's voice cut through the chaos, amplified and devastating. These 3 women conspired to destroy an innocent person's life. Amanda Rogers, a woman who spent every dollar I gave her feeding children, clothing mothers, and paying shelter bills, was accused of theft by the very people who embezzled funds themselves. More evidence flashed. Falsified documents, digital trails, security footage of Elena in Amanda's workspace. The accounts have been frozen. Authorities have been notified. And every news outlet in this city now has this information. Victoria lunged forward, tears streaming, perfectly applied mascara finally running. Brian, please. I did it because I love you. I was protecting you from kindness? His voice was ice. From integrity? From the only person who ever saw me as human? She reached for him. He stepped back. Don't touch me. Don't ever speak to me again. Security moved in, escorting all three women out. Victoria screamed. Elena went rigid with shock. Cassandra sobbed into her still live-streaming phone as her follower count plummeted in real time. The elite crowd erupted in whispers, phones out, scandals spreading like wildfire. But Brian didn't stay to watch their fall. He turned and walked out of the ballroom, through the lobby, past the valet. His heart pounded, not with triumph, but with desperate urgency. He had exposed the villains, but he hadn't saved the heroine. Not yet. He ran, legs pumping, breath burning, toward the one place that mattered. The shelter. Brian burst through Haven House's doors, chest heaving, tie loosened. Expensive shoes scuffed from running. The dining room was warm with the smell of soup and bread. Mothers fed children. Volunteers wiped tables. And there she was. Amanda stood at the serving line, ladling stew into bowls, hair tied back in that familiar messy bun, wearing a worn apron with a faded sunflower embroidered on the pocket. She looked up. Their eyes met. Hers widened. His filled. He walked toward her slowly, the room quieting as people recognized him from the news. The billionaire, the scandal, the man who'd exposed the conspiracy just hours ago. Amanda set down the ladle, hands trembling. Brian stopped 3 feet away. Then, in front of everyone, mothers, children, volunteers, Mrs. Chen, he dropped to his knees on the scratched linoleum floor. Gasps echoed softly. Amanda, his voice cracked. I failed you. I doubted you when I should have defended you. I hesitated when I should have believed. Tears streamed down his face, unashamed. You spent your life giving to people who had nothing. And I had everything. And I couldn't give you the one thing that mattered. Brian, she whispered. Trust. He looked up at her, eyes raw and red. You are the richest soul I have ever met. You have more wealth in your kindness than I'll ever have in my accounts. His voice shook. I don't deserve forgiveness, but I'm begging for a chance to earn it, however long it takes, however hard I have to work. Silence stretched, thick and fragile. Amanda's tears fell, slow, warm, catching the overhead lights. You hurt me, she said quietly. You made me feel invisible again, like I was back to being nothing. You are everything, he choked out. And I was blind. A little girl, the same one who'd shared apple slices with him, tugged Amanda's apron. Miss Amanda, he's crying. Amanda's lips trembled into the smallest smile. I see that, sweetie. The child walked to Brian and hugged his neck. Then another child. Then 3 more. Soon he was surrounded by small arms and messy hair and unconditional forgiveness. The shelter erupted in soft applause, not loud, not showy, just warm. Amanda knelt down to meet his eyes, face to face now. I can't promise I'll forgive you instantly, she whispered. Trust isn't something you buy, it's something you build. I know. It might take time. I have time. I'll spend every second earning you back. She studied his face, searching for performance, for manipulation, for anything false. She found only broken sincerity. Slowly, gently, she reached out and touched his cheek, thumb brushing away a tear. Then start now, she whispered. Help me serve dinner. Brian exhaled, relief, hope, rebirth, and nodded. They stood together. And for the first time in his life, Brian Stevens understood what wealth really meant. It wasn't found in penthouses or black cards. It was found in second chances, in humble beginnings, in love that kneels. Were you hooked on Brian and Amanda's story? Drop your 0-10 rating below and let us know your thoughts. Hit subscribe and the bell so you won't miss what's coming next.